This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on the SFL Twitch network. The final week of the regular season kicks off here in Houston as the Hyenas need a win and then everything to go their way in almost every other matchup today and tomorrow. They must go through the division champion Mexico City Aztecs, who have already locked up a top 4 finish. Hello everyone, I'm Tyler Fall. Good morning from Houston and welcome into the Hyena Clan Stadium. This will be the 4th time these two clubs will have met in week 12. Houston have won 2 of the 3 matchups in those scenarios. Brett Solberg joins me here in the booth, and Brett, if those games and their recent history is to go by, we are in for a fantastic tilt here today.
Yeah, and everything starts with Houston here. They are 4-7. They have the absolute slimmest of slim chances of making the playoffs. But it starts by getting this victory here against a very tough 9-2 Mexico City squad who's looking to solidify themselves as a very, very tough squad heading into the playoffs. There's way too many scenarios to go through in such a little time, but suffice to say, this is going to be a dogfight, Tyler.
Absolutely. As we get inch closer to kickoff, today's aerial coverage today is provided by Dags Drone Works, aerial photography and videography services in New York State. Find them on Instagram at Dags Drone Works or visit their website, dagsdroneworks.com. But we're almost ready to go here in H-Town as the Hyenas look to go to 5-7 to finish out the regular season, and Mexico City with a win and a little bit of help would lock up the 2nd spot in the playoff seedings. As Mexico City in white and green, Houston in red and white. Here in week 12, as Cole Varner will get us underway, as here we go. The final round of the regular season is underway. Jacob McCall gets his return started as he tries to angle out to the far side. He'll be taken down right at the 20-yard line. And that'll bring on Matt Wilson, the 12-season veteran, on the field for his first drive of the ball game.
Yeah, I think you're mixing up teams here. I think it's Dave Burr that's going to be heading out for Houston.
Oh, there we go. I got my reds and greens mixed up. Maybe a little bit of self-diagnosed color blindness. Appreciate that, right? Yeah, Houston on the field, and the rookie quarterback Dave Burr on the field today. First play will be a pitch play to Warren Murray on the far side, on the near side, and he's got a good little lane to run, picks up 6, and let's introduce the rest of the Houston offensive lineup. Dave Burr is the rookie quarterback out of Lexington. He's on pace to have the best rookie season at the quarterback spot for Houston. Warren Murray is the tailback with Justin Williams at fullback. Cal Finnemore, DR Sim, and Greg Corky are the receivers. Randy Pierce and Stephen Walker are the tight ends. Burr back to pass again. He floats it out to the far side, hauled in by Walker, the tight end. He's taken down a yard shy of the sticks, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked to me that he kind of stumbled a little bit after the catch there and kind of dropped himself behind the line, which kind of caused him to try to fight for a little bit extra yards, but sets up a 3rd and short situation in which Houston's been pretty all right with so far on 3rd downs this season.
One running play, one passing play to begin the drive. Now on 3rd and short, Burr looks to throw. Will float it near side, and it bounces off the hands of the fullback, Justin Williams, and it's a quick 3-and-out for the home team.
Yeah, and it's good job in Mexico's defense to bend and not break in this set of downs here in this scenario and force an early punt from Dave Burr, not to get him started quickly, because we know all about his passing game and how effective that Houston has been all season. So a great job in Mexico City's defense to get that ball back early on in this game.
Now on to punt will be Brian Adams as he boots it away. This time for Jacob McCall, who does get his return started from about the 34-yard line. Can't make any heads or tails of the return as the coverage team was spectacular. And now, finally on comes Matt Wilson, the 12-season veteran.
Yeah, and he's probably had the most quiet, efficient season that we've seen out of his long and storied career. He is 2nd in completion percentage, just a shade over 75% of his passes are completed at this point. So he's been a very effective member of this potent Mexico City offense.
Another thing to note is he is the least sacked quarterback also in the league. Gets the ball up quickly to Phoenix Jones on the near side. That's something we'll see very often. A nice connection to Phoenix Jones from Matt Wilson, the quarterback. Ray Bentley is the fullback. Jason Bartley, Jacob McCall, and Fox Highwind are the wideouts. Bill Henry and Mike Daggs are the tight ends. That's your offensive lineup for Mexico City, as they'll come out of the huddle here on 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line, maybe gain a half a yard on first down. High formation, goal line formation for the offense, as Jones gets the call on 2nd down, this time on the ground. He's hit hard by Brady Clark for a gain of about 4, brings up 3rd down.
And I think we know 2 things about Mexico City here is that they love to dominate the time possession, and they love to give the football to Phoenix Jones. So Houston doing a good job on this play, limiting Phoenix's Jones' progression here, only getting a few yards.
Play action for Mexico City on 3rd down. Deep shot over the middle, and it's a fantastic deflection from the defensive back. That strong safety, Josh Rowe, in his first season from Lexington. And both teams will trade 4 and outs to begin this ball game.
Yeah, and it's been good defensive stands from both teams here so far. Both defenses are here to play, and that's what you want to see here on Judgment Week, if I can say that.
Absolutely, and on comes George Amby to punt this one away. He stands back at his own 23-yard line to send it away. Greg Corky on the return from about the 28 makes a man miss with a nice little spin move and is taken down at the 32-yard line, and the offense retakes the field. So the defense is the story of the day in very early on in this football game here, Brett. The offenses have yet to find any momentum.
Yeah, and I think it's more so both offenses are trying to mix things up currently to as opposed to the regular game plan. We haven't seen a real deep pass from Dave Burr yet, which we've seen a lot of this season, so we're going to have to see how this drive happens.
Try a pitch play with Murray, and that was read excellently by Ronnie Watson as he's able to get in the backfield. It's a big loss of 4 on first down. And let's touch on the rest of the Aztecs defense. Dan Tritz, Brock Lee, Skylar Kingsley are the defensive linemen. Ronnie Watson, Dexter Jackson, and Katie Horrell are the linebackers. Gerard Brody, Jeremiah Menefield, and Xavier Hawkins are the corners, with Ben Sharps and Jeffrey Daggs in the safety spots. 2nd and long. Burr elects to throw, and he goes backwards again! The Houston offense is moving backwards, and it's a loss of about 7 yards after the sack by John Van Unworth.
Yeah, and that pocket collapsed real quick there. As you can see, there were 3 linemen pretty much right at the spot of Dave Burr, which gave him absolutely no time, and the pressure was on real quick. So Burr tried to push himself back a little bit, but it all for naught, since it was a big loss on this one, and becomes a 3rd and even longer.
3rd and forever. Burr pumps once, waits in the pocket, has plenty of time this time around, and it's picked up over the middle and going the other way for Mexico City. Burr tried to force it deep down the field to convert, and it's an excellent play by Ben Sharps, who will set the Aztecs up in excellent territory.
Yeah, and when you apply pressure to someone like Dave Burr, he's still in his first season, even though he's been playing like a veteran for most of the season. There's going to be mistakes happening early on, and that sack, which led to this long pass attempt and led to an interception, that's essentially the icing on the cake on that drive for the Mexico City defense. So now Mexico City deep in enemy territory. What's going to happen here for them?
Definitely already in field goal range for Cole Varner if the Houston defense does play tight again like they did on the first drive. Wilson to throw. Pressure coming. He floats it over the middle, and it's deflected up into the air. It'll fall incomplete. Good play there from the Hyenas, and let's meet their defense. Frank Stackhouse, Julius Maximus, and Chris Joseph are the linemen. Brody Gulch, Alex Perez, Zach Markov are the linebackers. Perez with the deflection on the last play. Marco Swift, Ethan Kai are the corners, with Josh Rowe, Mike Jones, and Brady Clark at the safety spots. And that's your Houston defense. Now here on 2nd down, offset eye behind Matt Wilson. Wide receiver bunched in tight on the far side. Wilson to throw, will look near side. That's going to be for the Orb father, Ray Bentley, and he gets upfield, makes a nice move, and will stretch out his hands and get the first down, and that's a Hall of Fame move from a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's that traditional orb dad strength that nobody else in the SFL has except for Ray Bentley, pushing down the defender as he was getting to the first down line, gets themselves a first down. They're inside the red zone, and Mexico City, this is the best situation that they've had so far in this first quarter. Let's see if they can capitalize on this.
First down converted by either team so far today, as Mexico City now in the red zone look to punch it in. Wilson throws far side as is wide open Jason Bartley on the reception, and they go back-to-back first downs, and now they're inside the 10.
Yeah, and that's a huge catch from Bartley, like you said, and like you said, wide open. Looked like the corners were more so focusing on the close passes, which Mexico City loved to do, and which left Bartley open for that sideline catch. Gained a few extra yards to get that first down, and now inside the 10, there's a wide open playbook for Mexico City.
Offset single back, 2 wide receivers out to the right. First and goal from the 7 for Mexico City. Wilson, quick drop, will find Jones out of the backfield. He sneaks his way out of a tackle and will reach into the end zone. Touchdown, Mexico City!
Yeah, and Brady Clark gave him a pretty devastating hit on that one, but nonetheless, Phoenix Jones still gets his way in. That is going to be receiving touchdown number 6 for him, combined for his all-time career. So very much a two-way player for this Mexico City offense. And now Mexico City starts off this game with the lead.
On attempt the extra point is Cole Varner in his 8th season in the league and with the Aztecs. That spot kick is up from Varner, and it's through the uprights and good. Mexico City takes an early 7-0 lead. And if you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Varner boots it down the field to Greg Corky on the return. Makes his way up to the 20, angles his way toward the 25, is stopped right there at the 25 after he was contained rather nicely by the coverage team. Zach Daggs is able to bring him down, and on comes Dave Burr out on the field to start his 3rd drive of the ball game. And unfortunately for the Hyenas, it's 2-3 and out. It's the last one ending up in that interception.
Yeah, and all Dave Burr needs to do here is just take a breath. He saw what Matt Wilson and Mexico City did on their offensive side, and he just needs to find a way to compose himself.
We'll start out with a run with Murray as the hole closes quickly as the defense was able to stop him maybe for a short gain of about 1 as it's Kingsley and Tritz combining to bring him down.
Yeah, and if this Mexico City defense keeps shutting down Warren Murray like that, he's going to have a very similar set of numbers that he had last week. 33 yards on 13 carries. We might see a repeat performance if this keeps going.
Possibly looking to go back to the ground again. Instead, they'll pass out of the goal line. Set pass for Murray, and as Murray dances the sideline and gets a feel for a good pickup of 7. Very nifty footwork from Murray.
Yeah, and Warren Murray, it looked like he was going to step out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage there, but he manages to use those tiny feet of his to stay in bounds and just keep going and gets a nice 7-yard gain, which sets up a 3rd and short.
Run again, this time a stretch play to the far side as Murray tries to get toward the line to gain, but he's stopped up short with a clutch tackle from Jeffrey Daggs, and it's 3 straight drives and 3 straight 3-and-outs for the Hyenas.
This Mexico City defense is ready to play at this point. A 3rd and 3 situation. There was a couple options that they would have went with. They decided to go with run and go stretch to the left side for Warren Murray, and they managed to stop him with a very key Jeffrey Daggs tackle, which leads to another punt.
3rd punt of the day for Brian Adams. He's been busy here early in this football game as it's a fair catch called for by the Mexico City Aztecs returner Jacob McCall, and on comes the Aztecs. Last drive, it started out in excellent field position. Now they start out in their own territory. But if there's anything to go by their last drive, Brett, this team can put together solid drives on a consistent basis.
And you know what? I think it's going to be more favorable for Mexico City as well because, like I said at the beginning of the game, they like to dominate the time of possession. So they might slow this down and just kind of shed all the clock they can.
Play action on play one of the drive. It's a dump off over the middle from Wilson to Fox Highwind, and it gets the drive going with a nice pickup of 4.
Yeah, and it's a lot of patience from Matt Wilson there, and a lot of credit to that offensive line, keeping Mexico City's defensive line from ever touching him in that play. Just going through his cadences, seeing who's open, finds Highwind for a short gain, and now sets up a second and medium situation.
Offset eye behind Matt Wilson here on second down. They'll run with the fullback, Ray Bentley, and Bentley lowers his shoulder, picks up a couple before being brought down.
And there's another nice gap opening from the offensive line to give Ray Bentley that space to kind of power himself through. And 3 yards is 3 yards at this point, and that's very favorable for both Mexico City and Houston. This is going to be a very vital third down to try to stop this Mexico City offense from keep going.
4 wideouts and only a 4-3 look for Houston as Wilson fires over the middle to a wide open tight end. Bill Henry, as his first week in week 7 was against these Hyenas, and he's showing how much he's improved since that game.
And we'll also talk about the week 7 game that they had there. It was only a 3-point game between these two teams. So this is going to be a very tough battle. Nonetheless, going back to this play here, Bill Henry finds himself a decent amount of space. And again, that patience from Matt Wilson, that's what veteran leadership brings to the table, and gets him a great catch, which sets up another first down for Mexico City.
That game ended, like you said there, Brett, by 3 points on a last-minute field goal from the Aztecs. Dump off outside for another receiver. That's going to be, I believe, the fullback, Ray Bentley, again. He's been involved early enough in the passing game.
Yeah, and we see this a lot in the first half when it comes to Ray Bentley. He gets involved a lot, which kind of sets up open opportunities for the receivers as well as Phoenix Jones. So we're going to have to see how this transpires for the Mexico City offense.
Power eye here on second and medium, and Wilson's back to throw. Dump off Jones near side, has a little bit of room to run, and as he shoulders Marco Swift to the ground and picks up the first down.
Yeah, and that's all you need there. If you give Phoenix Jones enough space, he's going to get that first down, if not more. A very nice blocking job done by basically every member of the Mexico City offense to get Phoenix Jones that space, and all he needed was that 4 yards, and he managed to get 5 to get that first down. So great job on that play.
Brutal stiff arm from Phoenix Jones sets up with the new set of downs from the Houston 34. Wilson to throw. As time slings it sidearm over the middle, and it's nearly caught off the deflection, but it falls incomplete. Jacob McCall nearly had the grab, but it's Jones on the other side who comes up with the deflection.
You don't see too often Matt Wilson doing a sidearm sling throw on that. He was trying to find an open pocket to throw and hit the spot, but it was a little bit risky of a pass, which almost led to interception there. So very interesting choice by Wilson.
Split backfield handoff up the middle for Jones, and Jones can't find anywhere as the pack of Hyenas closes in quickly as Zed Markov leads the charge.
Yeah, and that linebacking core basically swarmed the line right the moment once they saw the handoff happen. So very minimal gain for Mexico City and Phoenix Jones, who's, by the way, he's following up 171 yards from last week, and he's wanting to follow it up this week.
Another big third down early. Wilson over the middle, off the back, and it will fall incomplete. Oh, nearly picked off the backside by Alex Perez, but luckily for Matt Wilson and the Mexico City Aztecs, it's incomplete.
Yeah, and that's going to force a field goal situation if they want to go from this deep here. But nonetheless, great coverage from the linebacking and secondary of Houston to force a tipped pass near interception. It looked like it was going to be an interception, basically catching it from inches off the ground. But nonetheless, it's a good stop from Houston to prevent another 7.
Snap spot, this long 49.5-yard try is up and good from Cole Varner, and it's a 10-point ball game. The Aztecs have the lead here in Houston.
And the more important thing for Cole Varner is that he stays perfect. He's now 23 of 23 for this season. I believe he's one of very few kickers who are still perfect in the SFL. So great kick from Cole Varner. We've seen him do it all season.
Corner gets us going once again as he boots it downfield for Greg Corky once more. As Corky will start his return near the goal line as he makes a nice move, makes a man miss, and angles toward the far sideline where he's taken down to the 26. Tyler Falk on the call alongside Brett Solberg, and we must mention our fantastic statisticians Justin Raside and Dwayne Schindler, who are making us sound and look smarter than we actually are. And of course, pressing all the buttons at SFL headquarters is the Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Thanks so much for joining us here this morning in Houston, Texas, in this pivotal Week 12 matchup where Mexico City looks to lock up maybe the second seed if other results go their way, and Houston need a win desperately to keep their slim but still playoff hopes alive, as the first call from scrimmage here on this new drive will go to the Week 9 rookie free agent fullback Justin Williams.
That was a nice fullback run, a nice power run from Justin Williams to start off this drive here. Houston's offense so far hasn't been favorable to them so far as they continue getting 3 and outs. Hopefully they can get a first down on this drive.
Passing play out of the eye. It'll be a screen play for Murray, who stumbles a little bit, is able to get out of one tackle, but is quickly met up again by Dexter Jackson, who helps push him out of bounds for a gain of only about 3 or 4.
Yeah, Warren Murray had all the space as well, and it looked like he was going to get that first down, but that stumble after the catch caused a couple defenders to inch closer to Murray and prevent that first down. So it's another 3rd and short situation for Houston, so they're going to need to step it up here to get this first down.
8.5 left to go here in the first quarter. Burr to throw, far side, wide open receiver. It's D.R. Sim. He's being chased from behind, and he will switch on his own, but he's down at the goal line. A huge tackle from Jeffrey Daggs saves the touchdown.
And you want to talk about veteran leadership from Matt Wilson? Let's talk about the veteran leadership of one D.R. Sim. He is the wide receiver king. If anybody says anything else about it, I have to disagree with them. D.R. Sim is one of the best ever in this game, and he proves why. He left himself wide open. Dave Burr gave him a space to catch it at, and he just ran with it, almost got to the end zone, pretty much at the SFL chin hair line at that point, but nonetheless, great play from Houston.
Long play, it'll be a delayed handoff for Murray, and he'll just walk into the end zone, and there's your touchdown for Houston.
And that's a big 6 points for Houston there. Mexico City was carrying a lot of momentum, getting their last 2 drives, ending in a touchdown and a field goal. But now with Houston scoring some points here, this makes it a very, very interesting football game here. Great D.R. Sim catch, like we said before, and wide open space for Warren Murray to get himself to the end zone. Now we're at 10-6.
On now for his first attempt of the day will be Sonny J. His rookie season out of Salt Lake. Snap, spot kick is up and good from Jay. And the Houston Hyenas are on the board and within 3 points. And that right there, within 3 points, is right where most of these ball games before the two clubs have been. The series between the two clubs is split at 7 apiece.
Yeah, we look at their past games against each other, and they've been really close. 27-24, 41-35, 42-31, 47-20 is the only recent score going back to a couple seasons past that has been a blowout.
Turn gets started from Jacob McCall, who will get to about the 25 as we have some laundry on the field. And for the first time, we'll get the call from R62 with our first penalty of the day. They're going to call clipping on the receiving team for the Aztecs, and that'll push them a little bit farther back, as that was Shelby Calvi with the infraction.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it sets up Mexico City a little bit further back. Now they're going to go, as you can see on the ticker, at the 13-yard line, which is a lot of ground to cover for them. If I'm Houston, I'm looking to be a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end and kind of make Matt Wilson's life a little bit tough since he's that deep in his own territory.
Wilson to throw on first down, finds his man on the near side. That's Bill Henry, who gets rocked by Marco Swift, and it's a good pickup, a 6 on first down.
Yeah, 6 yards will kind of get you a little bit further away from your own end zone and kind of get yourself in touchback territory. Again, a little bit of breathing room for Matt Wilson and sets up a second and medium situation where everyone loves an open playbook in a medium situation.
Possibly the final play of the quarter. Wilson to throw. Will look far side this time. That's caught by Mike Daggs. He goes to one tight end on a first down. Finds Mike Daggs, the other tight end, on second down. And it's first down for the Aztecs.
I'm going to say Hall of Fame to Hall of Fame on this one here. Mike Daggs gets himself a nice corner route to the sidelines, which is way deep past the first down line, and continues running for another yard or two to get them further down the territory. And Matt Wilson, he's collecting some yards here in this first quarter.
And something we haven't seen in a couple weeks now is the Mike Daggs, Matt Wilson pairing in the booth. You'll see that game coming up later, but we've hit the end of the first quarter. The Aztecs have the lead in the football. It's 10-7. You're watching the SFL on the SFL Twitch network, presented by 8PM Music. Welcome back to Houston, Texas, where the Hyenas defense looks to take the Mexico City offense off the field. Wilson to throw here to start off the new set of downs on a new quarter here in the second quarter. Good jump off there for Phoenix Jones. He's taken down by Marco Swift after a gain of about 5 yards.
Nice misdirection from Phoenix Jones as well. It looked like he was going to block on the side there, but this time he slips between the two defenders to get himself an open spot for Matt Wilson to throw, and gets a nice 5 yards out of that play to start off this second quarter.
Backfield and two wide receivers set on the field for the Aztec offense. Wilson takes a quick drop, fires over the middle as he maybe led the receiver a bit too far, and a diving attempt from Jason Bartley goes for naught, and it's third down.
Yeah, it's a very tough throw from Matt Wilson there. He was kind of maybe expecting, like you said, Bartley to get a little bit faster down the middle of the field a little bit, but kind of overthrows him by about a yard, and Bartley had to try to dive and unfortunately not catch it.
Three wideouts on the field on third down. They'll go with a running play for Phoenix Jones, and he runs through defenders and picks up the first down.
And this is what Phoenix Jones does well here. He will bruise and fight and battle his way for first downs when Mexico City needs it. And he basically trucks through three defenders just to try to get that first down yardage. And he gets it. Mexico City is getting close to midfield, and they're marching here.
First down again for the Aztecs, as this drive looks promising once more. And up the middle. This is going to be for the fullback, Ray Bentley, and Bentley is going to pick up only 1 yard as Markov was in on the stop again.
Yeah, it looked to me that that one of the offensive linemen from Mexico City kind of got stuck with Bentley, which caused him to kind of slow down, try to redirect himself away from the offensive lineman, which led to only a 1 yard gain.
Wilson to throw on second down. Over the middle, into coverage, deflected, and incomplete. Another bobbling ball goes down to the turf.
Hot potato. Who's going to catch the ball, potato? Yeah, it's one of those ticky-tack plays there. Great coverage from 54. That was Brody Gulch on the coverage, which led to the ball kind of going up in the air, led to that hot potato situation, like I said, and sets up now a third down again for Mexico City. We're going to have to see what they do on this play.
The right place at the right time. That forces a third down out of Mexico City, and on 3rd and 9, they're going to come out in a goal line set. ISO up the middle for Jones, and Jones shoulders for man.
Wow.
3rd and long. The run play works, and it's a first down for the Aztecs.
Yeah, he's gonna be playing the role of traditional power back, as we can see here, as Phoenix Jones gets just enough space through the offensive line and pushes through Ethan Kai, pushes through Marco Swift, Alex Perez. He had 3 guys drapesing all over him, and he still manages to get the first down. That is just vintage Phoenix Jones.
How many hyenas will it take to bring down Phoenix Jones up the middle? We'll try again. Jones shoulders another man. It has to be taken down by 2 defenders after a pickup of 7 this time around.
And again, Ethan Kai is just trying to get his hands on Phoenix Jones to stop him, and he kind of slips away from it this time. It's another 7 yards for Jones, and he just continues racking the yards as he gets up to over 30 yards on 5 attempts here.
They'll go with a stretch play. Jones again on the call. He'll pick up the first down, and it's quickly becoming the Phoenix Jones show on the drive.
Yeah, and we've seen this a lot in this first half of the season, which I like to call him at least the first half MVP of the SFL. And Phoenix Jones is just going back to definitely his last couple weeks self, getting those open run plays and getting those first downs.
Shotgun set, Wilson to throw and change the pace. Far side, that's caught by Highwind, and Highwind has a pickup of 5, and it'll be second down. Are you a next level SFL fan? Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player and to join our community. Check out League Leaders. We got stats from all 17 seasons of SFL action and track game, season, and career numbers of all the players over time who have gone from couch to field. The Simulation Football League, 17 seasons strong. And down play will be a play action. Pressure coming for Wilson, but Wilson is able to find his man over the middle. It's another Wilson to Dags connection, and it sets him up in the red zone.
And Mexico City right now is just getting everything that they want at the moment. Matt Wilson is finding his receivers open enough to get those catches and just inch their way closer to the end zone. Possession has been a big dominant part here as we inch to probably around 5 minutes of possession time just on this drive alone for Mexico City.
Did not let the Aztecs become comfortable as they give for Phoenix Jones. This time it's a good stop from Josh Rowe, who slows Phoenix Jones up after only 5 yards.
Yeah, and it's interesting to say that Phoenix Jones only got 5 yards out of that, which for most teams, they would consider that a positive play. But for Mexico City and how Phoenix Jones is doing, that's a little bit less than impressive as compared to his other drives. So it sets up a 2nd and 5 pretty close to the end zone here.
DBs play off the line as they go goal line. Jones up the middle, but they close in very nicely. Very good pursuit again from Josh Rowe. Only a pickup of 2 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, once you get closer and once you get inside the 5-yard line, Houston's defense starts to play a little bit more goal line and much more aggressive to try to prevent any touchdowns from happening. Now it's a 3rd down situation. This could be a pass play.
3rd down from the 4. Wilson over the middle into coverage, and it's incomplete. And maybe a little bit of chippiness from Brady Clark in on coverage. He might have slowed up Highwind. No flag. 4th down.
He's took the words right out of my mouth. I was just thinking, are they going to flag Brady Clark with a pass interference call here? But they decide to keep the yellow flag in their pockets, and now it's another Cole Varner field goal attempt, this time from a measly 20 yards. So this should be, all intents and purposes, another 3 points for Mexico City.
In a rare time, we'll see a couple of members of the community defend our 62, saying it was a good no call there, as a snap spot kick up from Varner is good and extend the leads back out to 6 points. And I think what was contributing to that no call is Clark was going for the football and accidentally ran into Highwind rather than trying to purposely held him up.
Yeah, but when you look at from a wide receiver end, Tyler, you're more so not thinking about him pursuing the football, more pursuing the man. I would say that's more 50-50 of both. But again, it's all up to perspective.
Garner boots it downfield for Corky on another return from the wide receiver. Tries to angle near side and is taken down by his ankles there at the 24. And Houston on last drive had a deep bomb to DR Sim, which set them up for their first touchdown of the ball game. Now only down by about 6 points. A touchdown here could see them take the lead.
Yeah, how am I supposed to catch up in the all-time race when DR Sim continues to get those deep bombs caught to him? Nonetheless, Dave Burr, 74 yards to start this first quarter here, which is not too bad. If he continues on this pace, he's looking at 280.
Burr to throw on 1st down over the middle. It's DR Sim, and DR Sim has a good pickup of about 15 on the play.
I mean, if you leave DR Sim open, he's going to get that catch in that 1st down. A great look from Dave Burr to go through his progressions. It looked to be that Sim was probably his 2nd progression, probably looking at Kyle Finnemore first, from what I could see from his eyes. But nonetheless, a great first down catch and kind of sets the momentum for this Houston drive.
Now from the shotgun again from his own 39. Second play of the drive. Floats it out far side for Kyle Finnemore, and Finnemore is able to get out of a tackle, but is pushed out of bounds in the process. Good pickup of 8 from the second-year wide receiver.
And you know what? You'll take 8 yards on a first down, because now on that second down, you can maybe start to get Warren Murray involved, if not Justin Williams, who we saw earlier in this game get a trucking first down from a short down situation. So it kind of sets up a great opportunity for another first down for Houston.
I formation here on second and short. They elect to throw. Burr will find Finnemore on the second straight play, and it's a good decision to throw right back to number 10, as number 10 will make it 1st and 10.
Yeah, and Finnemore went with an out route on the last play, and then this play here, he decides to go in and gets himself open, gets that first down, and Houston is marching at the right time, especially after another field goal make from Cole Varner and the Aztecs. Houston desperately wants to respond here.
And they're going to come out with 5 wide. Maybe a deep bomb down the field to try and answer quickly. Deep throw over the middle into double coverage, as it was nearly taken away by Jeffrey Daggs.
A very risky pass. You can see there was 2 Houston receivers pretty much in the vicinity of the football being thrown, but the caveat on that play was that there was 4 Mexico City defenders chomping at the bit to get the interception, and Jeffrey Daggs almost got it, which could have set this momentum around in this game. Now, Dave Burr, you're going to have to be a little bit more patient with the football and throwing it into less dangerous territory.
He creeps up, pitch play near side. Murray with a wide open hole near the near side. He turns on the Jets to the 20, to the 10.
He's gone.
It's a tackle, and it's a touchdown for Houston. Warren Murray escaped everybody and got into the house for 6.
A very nice toss play from Houston's offense. A great selection to go with Warren Murray after Dave Burr has been slinging the football a little bit here. And excellent blocking all around has to go for the Houston offense. Even the receivers, you can see Greg Corky kind of just trying to fight some Mexico City defenders down to give Warren Murray the space in the world. And once he shed that one tackle, Murray was gone. And now Houston ties up this game with his field goal, and pending the extra point, they will have the lead for the first time in this game.
Mexico City looking to take the lead over Mexico City, as Sonny J comes out back on the field. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it's good from Sonny J, and Houston have their first lead of the ball game. It's 14-13 as they look to get into the playoffs. And SFL fans, have you ever wondered what it would be like to play in the SFL instead of sitting on the sidelines? For the newest SFL participants, the SFL's minor league, or otherwise known as the SFLM, it kicks off its 4th season next week, Friday, October 15th. The SFL's YouTube channel is home to all the minor league action at youtube.com/simulationfl. Get on the field and into the action, visit simulationfl.net to create a player today. A good drive from Houston there, Brett. 5 plays, 76 yards in total, culminating with that big touchdown run from Murray.
And there were big, quick plays as well, so Houston could get back in this lead. Now Mexico City back with the football. They could use the rest of this time just to take care of the football.
Be a dump off for Jones on the far side. He's able to escape yet another tackle. I'd love to get the tally on how many tackles this man has broken today, because it seems like on every play he's making men miss.
My guess is 206, but I might be exaggerating a little bit. Phoenix Jones, once again, it seems like he just has popcorn butter all over his jersey, because Houston defenders just can't seem to take a grasp of him. He just slips out of their hands. An utterly effective first half for Phoenix Jones.
Defense creeps up. They put 10 men in the box to try and stop the dangerous Phoenix Jones. And indeed, they will stop him only after maybe a gain of a couple. Brody Gulch in with the tackle.
I mean, the man is averaging 5.5 yards per carry. They're going to have to stop him at some point. And if it takes 10 men to stop Phoenix Jones, it's going to take 10 men to stop Phoenix Jones, simply put.
Third and medium. Handoff. Orb Father. Ray Bentley gets up the field. And if it's not Phoenix Jones picking out the tough yards, it's Ray Bentley. It's a dynamic duo of halfbacks in the backfield.
And I don't think there's a more dynamic running back duo in the SFL other than Jones and Bentley, because they have been both so effective for their team in their own way this season, which has given Mexico City this 9-2 record.
Pass over the middle, a jumping catch is caught for a gain of 8 by Ray Bentley. They go right back to the fullback, and he awards them 8 yards.
And you kind of forget that Ray Bentley also has the hands to catch as well, which he's done a few times in this season, but not a huge sample of Ray Bentley catches. And he gets this one, nice jump, and then gets demolished afterwards to the ground.
That's his third catch of the ball game. Wilson to throw, this time near side on an out route. That's hauled in by Bartley, and they get into Houston territory, down to the Houston 42.
And that could have been a potentially dangerous catch and run situation from Bartley, but he steps out of bounds. Nonetheless, still gets a first down for Houston. This time, they're kind of quickening up the pace a little bit to Mexico City standards as they continue to trot down the field. There's 2:40 left to go. They might still want to hold the football until the end of the half, but we'll see how this set it down starts.
Wilson is 16 now of 23 on the day. Wilson looks near side, another completion for Wilson as Bentley will shoulder Ethan Kai to the turf and pick up 5 yards.
Yeah, so far Ethan Kai hasn't had a great first half. He's kind of been shouldered out of the way by both Bentley and Phoenix Jones up to this point, but that's going to set up a lot of motivation for Kai to step up in this second half. Ethan Kai is a dangerous secondary player, so watch out for him.
That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning as the Aztecs are trying to get back out in front of the Hyenas. It's 14-13. You're watching the SFL presented by 8 p.m. Music on Twitch. Two minutes to go. Thanks for joining us here in Houston. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Brett Solberg. As the Aztecs have the football from the Houston 36. 5-step drop from Wilson. Pressure coming, and somehow floats it out for Jones, and he's taken down in the backfield for a loss of 1. How did that pass get off? But also a great coverage tackle there on the play, which sends Mexico City back a yard.
That's a Harry Houdini-esque kind of throw from Matt Wilson. I thought he was surely going to get sacked for only the 13th time this season, and he just barely manages to get it off and get at least a catch in. But the caveat on that, a loss of 1.
Coverage playing pretty close to the line of scrimmage. Wilson will look over the middle into tight coverage and somehow fits it in there to Jacob McCall. First down.
And you had Alex Perez and Brody Gulch basically breathing down the neck of that receiver there. What a fantastic thread the needle pass from Matt Wilson to get another first down.
Wilson to throw again, this time near side, wide open receiver Jason Bartley, and the Aztecs retake the lead.
And Bartley has been a huge part of this Mexico City passing game in this first half, and Matt Wilson basically gives him a gift by just saying run and run to the end zone. He does. He slings the ball to Bartley. He gets the catch. He gets the touchdown. Mexico City is back on top with that touchdown there. Man, what an exciting first half this has been.
Second touchdown of the day for quarterback Matt Wilson as Bartley gets them on the board, and they retake the lead after a 9-play, 75-yard drive, culminating with that 23-yard strike to Bartley. Snap spot pressure coming, but he's able to get it up and through the uprights, and the Aztecs take a 6-point advantage. A very nice drive from the Aztecs, Brett, and Houston now on the back foot with just over a minute to go.
You want to know an interesting fact here, Tyler? Matt Wilson has thrown as many yards in this first half alone as he did last week. So he has been way more effective. Exactly 165 yards so far in this first half.
Pretty well stymied against that Arizona Scorpions team, and now trying to show off and to build confidence going into the playoffs as Corky gets his return started to the 23. And speaking of playoffs, these Houston Hyenas need a big win today, of course, if they want to stand any chance of making the playoffs. And it's a very tough ball game indeed, but it's tight, the game that Houston likes to play.
Yeah, Houston needs to win here to have themselves a chance, but they also need all 4 5 and 6 squads to lose this weekend. So it's a very, very tough road for Houston.
The handoff up the middle for the fullback for Houston, that being Justin Williams, picks up 6. And it almost looks to me with that play there, Brett, they're content going into the locker room down by 6. And if memory serves me correctly, Mexico City will get the ball to start the ball game.
That's exactly right. We saw Houston start off the game, so they might be conceding just to get out of this first half and kind of make some adjustments, but they're looking to throw.
Pass play to a stop route, 10-yard stop route. That's caught good enough for a first down for Randy Pierce. Now they'll hustle back to the line as it's 15 seconds left to go on the game clock. Burr to throw again. It looks near side this time, and that's in and out of the hands of Justin Williams. But the positive thing to take out of that play is it stops the clock with 11 seconds left to go.
I think after that catch, they should have made the timeout. They got 3 of them. They haven't used any of their timeouts yet in this first half. There's no consequence into taking a timeout. You're not going to lose them for the second half. So a little bit of a questionable decision, kind of takes off about 8 or 9 seconds that they could have had. But nonetheless, they're back on the field.
Press coverage on the outside. Burr takes a 5-step drop, looking deep over the middle for DRSim. He's wide open again.
No
and this time
way.
he won't be denied. The Houston Hyenas score again, and we're all tied up at 20.
You can't give DRSim any space in this game. He's going to get himself open, and he's going to give Dave Burr an opportunity to throw that football. It just seemed like a misreading coverage, unfortunately, for Mexico City's secondary, which left DRSim wide open down the middle of the field, and once again, he just trots his way, this time crossing the end zone line, getting himself already over 100 yards in this game. And now Houston, pending in this extra point, could have the lead back once again with 4 seconds left in the second.
It's all on the leg of Sonny J to try and get that field goal through the uprights to take the lead. Snap spot, kick is up and through, and Houston retakes a 1-point lead. And I have to say, Brett, last week it was a seesaw battle between Houston and Sioux Falls in the same exact venue. This week it's no different.
Yeah, and Houston is stepping up big time. They know that they're not going to get a lot of possession time because of Mexico City's preference of the football, so they need to strike quick, and that's what they've done on these last 2 scoring drives, is strike quick.
As Jay boots it downfield for McCall, and he'll get his return started, and the clock will expire, so no end of the half heroics. And we go into the break. The Hyenas up by 1 after a last-second touchdown from DRSim. Brett Solberg, we have a fantastic ball game going on right here.
This is an absolute nail-biter, and that's what the fans want to start this Week 12 here in the SFL. As we hit halftime, 21-20 is the score, and you'll see there, Mexico City has dominated the time possession, already doubling the time that Houston has had the football. But what Houston has done to stay in this game has been big plays. DRSim has been a blessing for Houston and for Dave Burr as he's getting himself open on just a couple receptions here, and he's got himself a plenty of yardages at this point. As for Mexico City, they're doing what they do best, and that's what's led to this successful first half for them, getting 20 points. They got 2 touchdowns and a couple field goals out of this. You can't say that they haven't been successfully driving down the field. So both teams offensively have been stepping up here. We're going to have to see if this becomes a defensive battle once we start the second half.
A couple of side notes with that big bomb to DRSim. Dave Burr is now the leading quarterback in his rookie season with the Houston. He sets a franchise record, which will continue to tick up further for a rookie quarterback. He has the most yards on the season, so congrats to Dave Burr. Another mention from our statistician, Dwayne Schindler. There have been scores on the last 6 of 7 possessions after the game started out with a couple of punts. And one final thought, I completely agree with Mark Anthony in chat, as Houston needs to work on that fourth down percentage, only has one conversion on 4 attempts. And meanwhile, Mexico City converting over 50%. They're 5 of 8 today.
Just to counter that argument, though, kind of playing a little bit devil's advocate, why would you need to convert on third down percentages when you don't get to third down and you get those first downs very quickly, which Houston has done over the last couple drives? So that could be a question to be asked as well. Do they really need to worry about third downs when they don't get to third down?
It's been more of a second quarter push. We'll see if Houston keeps up that momentum, but they'll start off the half by kicking it away to Mexico City, as they'll get the ball rolling here in this second half. Thanks for joining us from Houston. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Brett Solberg. Statisticians today are Justin Reside, Wayne Schindler, and of course the SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine is our producer. And we're back underway here in the Hyena Clan Stadium as the return gets going once again for Jacob McCall. He'll get it down to the 26 before being stopped up. And here comes on the Aztec offense for their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and Matt Wilson, 20 of 27 to start this game, so he has been very effective just slinging the football, and he's continued to show why he's been the second most completed quarterback in this league.
Split backfield. Wilson to throw. Looks far side for Ray Bentley, and Bentley with his fourth grab of the day is going to pick up 11 yards and a first down on the first play of the drive.
It's another catch and just truck his way through for the first down for Ray Bentley, who has been pretty involved in this passing offense so far. So a good start for the second half for Mexico City just to get that immediate first down.
Wilson has gotten every single receiver involved here today, spreading the love around and getting everybody involved. Handoff, Jones. It's something we saw earlier in the first half. They'll go back to that ISO up the middle, and it picks up 8 yards.
And he's going to get 55 yards on his 10th carry here, continuing that 5.5 yard per carry pace up to this point, as well as another 23 yards on the ground. Phoenix Jones has been deadly on both sides of the football all season, inching himself over 1,900 all-purpose yards this season.
Second and short. Wilson under center, offset eye behind. Linebackers closing on the middle. Handoff, Jones taken down at the line of scrimmage by Brody Gulch. Another tackle for Mr. Gulch, and it brings up third down.
Yeah, it looked like this time they're going to go with Ray Bentley kind of sharing the wealth down with the handoffs, and this time he just gets stuffed right at the line, and that's what Houston needs to do. They need to stuff their running backs to kind of eliminate them in this second half and force Matt Wilson to throw a little bit more, even though he's been pretty good in this first half.
Linebackers have been busy today, combined 14 tackles for the Houston linebackers as Jones gets the call on a stretch play to the outside, and he picks up the first down and more, down to the Houston 46.
Yeah, and you couldn't get more wide open on that stretch play. Phoenix Jones had light down the end of the tunnel and then some to get that first down. So all he really wanted to do was just get that first down, keep the time possession in Mexico City's hands, and now they're on the flip side of the field. They're in enemy territory.
Our eyes set here on first down. And up to the outside again for Jones. Shoulders another man and picks up 6 yards. It's been a rough day for Ethan Kai, again hitting the turf.
Yeah, it's about the fourth time he's hit the turf, and the third time just from Phoenix Jones alone. So a very rough time, but I would say a lot of defenders have a tough time when they have to try to tackle Phoenix Jones. So this is nothing out of the ordinary, seeing this out of Phoenix Jones.
Ethan Kai in chat calling for his walker as it's 2nd and 4. Wilson, play action, pressure coming. He floats to the outside. That could have been gone the other way for a pick six as Zed Markov got his hands on it. Instead, it falls incomplete.
And you see the second linebacker. I didn't catch the number on that one. I think it might have been possibly Brody Gulch or Alex Perez on that one. They flattened Jason Bartley even though he was nowhere near the catch, basically just as a statement move more than anything else.
3rd and 4, power I for the Aztecs. Linebackers get on the line of scrimmage. Wilson pumps once. Screenplay for Jones on the far side, but the Hyenas close in quickly and will stop him short of the line of scrimmage. It's a fantastic hold for the defense, and they're out of field goal range, so on comes the punting unit for Mexico City. An excellent drive for the Houston defense.
Yeah, and it seemed like the two Mexico City players just basically lost their assignments on the block, because if they could have blocked two of those three defenders, getting to Ray Bentley, I believe it was, and he could have gotten a first down, but they missed the assignment, and it led to a fourth down.
Punts away from George Amy as Corky will let it bounce once. It takes a Mexico City bounce, then a Houston bounce back upfield, and they'll have to down it at the 7. All told, though, a good punt from Amy.
Yeah, nonetheless, it's a punt that's inside the 10, and that's going to still be a positive thing for Mexico City, because that's still 93 yards to work with against Houston. So Mexico City, they could be very aggressive and try to push Dave Burr all the way back and possibly get a safety out of this.
Burr, quick drop over the middle, incomplete, intended for Sim, and only for the second time today, there's a flag on the play. Let's get the call from R62.
Could be PI or could be roughing the passer.
They're going to call PI, as this time they'll say that it was Ronnie Watson who maybe got a hand too much on DR Sim, and that's going to give Houston a little bit more breathing room after the fantastic punt.
You know what? I'm not sure if I saw Ronnie Wilson do that much, if anything. I'm not sure if that's the right call for R62 on that one. Did you see anything out of the ordinary on that play, Tyler?
I saw maybe a little touch, but in my opinion, probably not enough, as they get some shocked reactions in chat as well from us up here in the booth. And off Murray, and the defense responds. Dan Tritz gets in the backfield again, and it's a loss of 2.
And that was pretty much immediate. Dan Tritz just got past his offensive lineman there and got straight to Warren Murray, who's had a pretty great first half, 59 yards on just 7 carries to kind of stop him. So good job by Tritz.
Fourth formation as Burr looks to throw, and he'll find Cal Fenimore on the near side. No, they'll rule him incomplete, as that looks a little bit too close for comfort there on the call, but it remains 3rd and 12.
And I think Fenimore knew, as you can see, as he was heading out of bounds, he kind of spiked the football in his other hand. I think he had already that knowledge that he was out of bounds once he got that catch. And now Houston going 5 deep here.
Deep in their own territory, they're trying to get quickly down the field and to convert. Burr, deep throw, near side, and caught by Fenimore. He's off to the races. He's got 3 men behind him, and Jeffrey Diggs with another crucial tackle to save yet another touchdown. But instead, they'll flip the field to the Houston Hyenas.
And that's going to be 76 yards from Kyle Fenimore. He just got himself a nice corner route, getting himself over the hands of Jermaine Menefield, and yeah, look at the space in between. Menefield try to get that last ditch grab, but not Bartley. Fenimore had himself a bunch of space to run down the field, and with one play, Houston has practically flipped the field.
And Burr breaks another milestone. He's now the team leader in passing yards for the entire franchise. Pass to the corner, and it's a little bit of miscommunication from rookie to veteran DR Sim as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and Dave Burr wants it all here after that. He had plenty of space to kind of throw that football, kind of underthrows it to DR Sim, who was looking to get that back of the end zone kind of tippy-toe grab, but he kind of throws it a little bit short. But look how open he was, too. That could have possibly been disastrous for Mexico City.
Shotgun set. Backs on either side of Burr. Here from the 15. Burr over the middle into coverage. Tipped and picked up! And going the other way as the Aztecs, with a crucial play, will take over with a Gerard Brody interception, as DR Sim in chat is just still boggled that Fenimore couldn't break away from Dags, and now the Aztecs have the football.
Yeah, a little bit of a tip and then an interception that happened basically negated everything that Houston has done up to this point, and basically gives the football back to Mexico City. And now Mexico City will have to respond in their own way to see if they can retake the lead here.
That's Brody's 7th interception on the season. That's a handoff up the middle for Jones. He'll pick up 3 on the play.
You know, a little bit of a John Cena-esque shoulder tackle from Marco Swift there to stop Phoenix Jones in his tracks, which all started off with kind of tripping Phoenix Jones a little bit on his feet to kind of limit the gain a little bit more, which only set up a 3-yard gain.
The drop from Wilson over the middle, caught, first down, and the Aztecs are in business as Bartley's found again.
Yeah, and Matt Wilson is still connecting his receivers there. That's going to be Bartley's 4th reception, if I'm not mistaken, in this game, which so far leads the team. And Matt Wilson, he's connected with, like you said earlier in this game, he's connected with pretty much everyone that he can up to this point.
Leads traditional wide receivers. However, Phoenix Jones has 7 catches and Bentley has 5 as Wilson's been finding the tailbacks. Wilson near side into coverage, and they took it right back. Jones goes Swift. He is gone, and the Hyenas, after giving the ball away on offense, take it back to the house. Touchdown, Houston.
Huge play from the Houston defense to basically negate the interception and basically stop Mexico City from progressing down the field. We saw the first down catch from Bartley earlier in this drive, and this time he manages to stop Fox Highwind from getting the catch, gets himself plenty of space on that interception, and leads it to 6. And now with Houston up 7, pending the extra point, make it 8. This is a huge advantage for Houston.
And after what some fans of Houston were calling that interception by Burr might have cost them a game, Marco Swift says, "Don't worry, offense, I got your back." And on comes Sonny J to make it an 8-point ball game. Snap, spot, kick is up and through, and the Hyenas take their largest lead of the game. It's an 8-point margin. For the first time in nearly 3 years, the SFL will broadcast playoff games on its own networks, and for the first time, will offer simulcasts of the playoff games on all SFL platforms: SFL Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Check out the 2 wildcard matchups Saturday, October 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern and Sunday, October 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern on all platforms. And stay tuned for official team and commentary pairings later this weekend into next week as the return for Jacob McCall gets him to the 26.
Yeah, and we talked about this on our halftime report. We were hoping to see a little bit more of a defensive battle as we started off the second half, and look what we've seen so far. 2 interceptions, 1 that led to a pick 6.
Houston trying to get into the playoffs and maybe snatch up the last wild card slot with a win and a lot of help. Wilson to throw, near side corner route, nicely done. It's a pass into the breadbasket of Fox Highwind. A pin-perfect pass gets him first down.
Yeah, this time Fox Highwind gets the catch here. A little bit of a space that was given, and Fox Highwind had a few yards, and it looked to me that just a little bit of a miscommunication in coverage, which led to Brady Clark trying to push his way towards the direction of Highwind. Nonetheless, Highwind gets the catch and another first down for Mexico City.
4 wide in the tight end as Wilson's alone in the gun. Pass to the out far side, caught by Mike Daggs, who was lined up as a receiver. That's a good pick up of 4 from hashtag throw to the tight end.
Yeah, and it looked like Ethan Kai was ready to grab a possible pick 6. He was trending in the direction of the football, but it seemed like it was the throw from Wilson seemed a little bit too high for Ethan Kai, which led to an open Daggs catch on the sidelines to get a 4-yard gain.
And Jones up the middle. He's able to escape 1, but was pressed to the line of scrimmage, and he will go no further as it's a good pursuit, good tackle from the Houston defense. Zed Markov for the minimal gain.
Yeah, Zed Markov, as well as Ethan Kai, once again, as we talk about him on this drive, manages to grab that tackle in a joint effort to stop Phoenix Jones. Only gets a yard out of that.
3 wideouts here on 3rd and 5. Can the Houston defense show up big again? Pass near side, Highwood caught, first down.
Yeah, it's a big first down for Mexico City as they continue trotting down the field slowly and methodically, trying to make Houston's defense tired, which so far has kind of worked. And we're going to look at a challenge here, Tyler.
Well, this play will get reviewed for just being too close to the line. We saw a play earlier that wasn't reviewed. Now we go under the hood with R62 to take a closer look.
I still think it's a catch. I think there was 1 foot that Highwind at least caught in bounds, and we're gonna have to see. Yeah, there's plenty of space on that sideline there for Highwind to catch it. I don't think this is gonna be overruled this time.
After review, the play stands. The pass was complete. The catch was made.
And it'll stand. It's a completed catch, and maybe that missing timeout might come back to Houston. They have the lead now, but you can never count Mexico City out.
Especially when they keep the football as much as they've had, especially in this first half. And so far on this drive here, they've had it for well over, I would say, a minute and a half, 2 minutes already.
Safety creeps up into coverage. Wilson to throw over the middle. That's hauled in. And Mexico City is right back to work as Wilson will find Highwind again.
Yeah, and now Highwind's getting a little bit more involved. We saw a lot of Jason Bartley in this first half, and now Jason Bartley as well as Jones and Bentley. This time, Highwind's going to get himself a little bit more involved, and I would say he's the more dynamic receiver out of the 3 that we know out of Mexico City. So got to get Highwind involved a little bit more, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Brand new set of downs for the Aztecs from the Houston 28. Wilson to throw. Looks far side for Jones on the swing pass. He'll turn upfield, and it's a good tackle from Josh Rowe. He's not fazed at all by how much his teammates have been put into the dirt by a hard-charging Phoenix Jones. He'll take him down after a gain of 4.
And you can tell Matt Wilson was looking at his receivers deep down the field, and he went with his last option with a wide-open Phoenix Jones onto the side. This time, like you said, Josh Rowe gets himself a nice tackle.
Wilson to throw, corner out, far side, Mike Daggs has it,
Whoa.
and is tackled short of the goal line at the 2, and they completely broke open that coverage for a huge gain.
And again, Josh Rowe, this time he gets himself basically a touchdown-saving tackle out of that and pushes Daggs out to the sideline there, preventing 6, and now Houston's defense, they're going to have to rely on their goal line defense to prevent Mexico City from scoring in this game and inching closer to this deficit.
Likely 4-down territory as we tick closer to the 4th quarter. Handoff, middle. Jones goes nowhere as he stood up at the line of scrimmage.
Alex Perez basically pushes all his might towards Ray Bentley. We know how powerful Bentley can be, but this time Perez is that much more powerful to stop him basically right at the line.
Power v power, 2nd down. Jones gets 1, and he's tackled short of the goal line by Ethan Kai.
That's Ethan Kai revenge tour a little bit there, preventing Phoenix Jones from getting the 6. He still gets 1 yard out of it, but still not crossing the end zone line. Huge 3rd down for both teams. Who's gonna break?
Defense has the advantage. 3rd run play. Jones gets stood up in the backfield. It's a huge goal line stand for the Hyenas.
Absolutely amazing goal line stand from the Houston Hyenas defense. You knew that after the Josh Rowe tackle on Mike Daggs to push them to the 2-yard line, he knew that he could rely on the defense with their goal line stand. And once again, Cole Varner is going to have to kick another field goal from short to get more points for Mexico City.
Remain perfect on the season. Varner is up and good. And it's a 5-point ball game. Houston 28, Mexico City 23. And the advantage, Brett, has to be going toward that Houston Hyena sideline.
Yeah, and it's one of those bend, don't break situations, and that's exactly what happened on that goal line stand, was just to bend a little bit, but don't break that defense. And they pushed Mexico City to the brink on that drive.
Varner boots it downfield for Greg Corky. His umpteenth return today. Flag on the play. He nearly broke that one for a big gain. Taken down at the 28-yard line, but another flag on another return. Let's get the call.
going to be a hold.
Receiving team.
Holding on the return team, and that's going to push them back. Unfortunate chain of events. That's Neurelis there with the infraction.
And it's one of those things you got to really be careful on the special teams that you don't do anything that could cause a penalty, essentially, because a lot of returns are going to be short. You don't see a lot that kind of cross the 30-yard line. That's exactly what happened here with Corky, but this time they get pushed back to the 14 because of that penalty.
I formation, Burr to throw, far side. That's Warren Murray. He'll turn the corner and pick up 4 yards.
It's a nice 4 yards to get, and it's something that Houston kind of needs to do. I think they need to dominate a little bit more time possession as we close out this third quarter, maybe hold on to the football a little bit longer and get into the fourth quarter and possibly get some points out of this.
Big news coming out of the game going on SFL YouTube. Sioux Falls blocked a field goal and returned it for a touchdown. It was a backup defensive lineman who took it all the way. It's the second blocked field goal returned for a touchdown in league history, as Vancouver was the first to do it a year ago. So big storyline over there in Sioux Falls, as meanwhile the pass for DR Sim is, strangely enough, dropped by DR Sim.
Yeah, and just going back to that Sioux Falls game, if I'm not mistaken, Denver is one of those 4-7 teams that need a victory as well. So that is a huge play from Sioux Falls to possibly end their possible playoff hopes as well.
Burr to throw on 3rd and 6, looking far side, tipped up by Daggs, and incomplete. It's another clutch play from Jeffrey Daggs.
And you know what? Jeffrey Daggs has been very clutch so far in this game. We've seen him stop a lot of passes here, but I like the idea from Dave Burr to kind of go for it and see what Finnemore can do. He got you that deep 75-plus yard catch earlier on, and you kind of want to ride the momentum as much as possible. But this time, Jeffrey Daggs gets the tip and forces a 3-and-out for Houston to give Mexico City the football back.
Fourth down, and Houston will send out the punting unit. First time we've seen Brian Adams here in this second half. Fair catch called for by Jacob McCall, and the Mexico City Aztecs will start their next drive at their own 46-yard line. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. And get SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. Sector 6 features replica team jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6, 97 Sports Promotions, and the SFL. First play of the drive will be a handoff up the middle for Phoenix Jones as he gets back up to midfield.
Yeah, and they continue to go with Phoenix Jones on those first down plays to gain yards. This time he gets 4 as he kind of bruises himself to those 4 yards. Nonetheless, an amazing game so far for him with over 75 yards on almost 20 carries.
Offset I here from midfield. Handoff for Ray Bentley, who tries to get forward and does struggle forward. It'll be 3rd and 2 when we come back in the fourth quarter. So get your 4s and 86s up in chat. The Hyenas have the lead, but the Aztecs have the ball. Crunch time here in week 12. You're watching the Simulation Football League on SFL Twitch, presented by APM Music. Fourth quarter, Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg in the booth. Justin Raside and Dwayne Schindler on the stats truck. Handoff for Phoenix Jones on 3rd down. Can't get the first down. Is taken down from behind by Zed Markov, and up comes 4th down.
This is huge. Zed Markov, he stopped Phoenix Jones in his tracks and basically prevented him from crossing the first down boundary. Great stop by Houston, and it looks like Mexico City is trying to look to jump maybe?
8 men in the box, 4th and 1. Handoff, Jones has a big hole and will get the first down easily.
My mistake. I thought they were maybe looking for Houston to jump here, but they trust on their Phoenix Jones, and Phoenix Jones gives them plenty of yardage past the first down line, and now Mexico City quickly back up the field trying to score.
8 men in the box again as the Aztecs go to the power eye. Stretch play. Jones gets a couple blocks and is angling toward the far sideline, but it's tackled after a good pickup of 9 from behind, and it's Zed Markov again.
Yeah, and Markov, that's a big stop there, because if Markov didn't get to Jones, he's got 6 points easily on that. So great job from Markov to stop Phoenix Jones in his tracks, but great job by the O-line to give Jones all the space in the world.
Jones right around 100 yards in the ball game. Another handoff, tackled from behind. This time, no gain. The defense holds serve by Frank Stackhouse. First time we've called his name today.
Yeah, don't call him Jerry. Frank Stackhouse with a very nice tackle to stop Phoenix Jones on his tracks, basically prevent anything from happening. And now it's a huge third down once again for Mexico City.
Guy Joker package on 3rd and short. Handoff up the middle for Jones. He weaves his way. No, it's Bentley with the call, and he's tackled after picking up the first down.
Yeah, and he was kind of bobbing and weaving and kind of juking his way around, but he still gets the first down, which is huge for Mexico City. It sets up a new set, moves the chains as they inch closer to the red zone here.
And they continue to use as much of this clock as possible as we tick beyond 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Free play, pass near side for Dags is caught. Will be short of 5 yards, so my guess is here on the penalty, they'll take the free 5 yards and will keep it first down.
The soothsayer says, yes, accept the penalty.
They're going to tag Chris Joseph, the defensive end, in his first season with the club. He spent a few seasons with the London Knights, and it'll be 1st and 5 coming up after the penalty.
Yeah, it looked like he jumped maybe half a second too early there. Which gave Matt Wilson plenty of time to maybe just like look around, then snap the ball. And yeah, free play, 5 yards, and now it's a 1st and 5.
Wilson to throw. One-handed snag by Phoenix Jones will get him about 2 yards before Kai brings him down.
I don't know. That seemed like a little bit of a show-off move, a little bit from Phoenix Jones. I think he could have got it easily with 2 hands, but kind of proves how agile he is as well as powerful. Still gets a decent gain out of it, and now it's a 2nd and 3.
High formation for the Aztecs now inside the red zone. Handoff. Jones up the middle, gets a couple of blockers through the hole, and he'll pick up the first down to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and they continue to just push that ball, like run it up the gut, down the throats of Houston's defense as Phoenix Jones once again gets another first down. And you see in the chat, Jones is unstoppable, and I agree with him.
Over 250. Passing yards for Wilson. He looks to add to it and get another touchdown in the same vein. Jason Bartley with touchdown number 2 on the day, and the Aztecs retake the lead.
This was very much a lull the Houston secondary to sleep drive, as there was a lot of runs up the gut doing stretch plays from Jones and Bentley, and then Matt Wilson decides, you know what, let's sling this rock a little bit. And Jason Bartley was wide open. There was nobody near him. And now Mexico City takes the lead here, and it's now Houston's time to respond with 7 to go in this game.
Total plays for both clubs. Mexico City with 75. Houston have only 34, as possession is clearly in favor of a team from south of the border. Farner's kick is up and good, and it's a 2-point lead for the Mexico City Aztecs, as we want to remind you that the SFL is presented by APM Music. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Forky gets his return started from near the goal line. He stutters, steps, and tries to make a man miss, but is tackled at the 21-yard line. And now it's crunch time for the Hyenas. They need this victory, Brett, to stand any chance of maybe sneaking into the playoffs.
Yeah, and if I'm Dave Burr, I just want to take a few deep breaths before you start off this drive. Just kind of soak everything in. This is going to be the biggest game of the season, possibly of your career already. So just take a few breaths.
Quick drop, looks far side, finds the easy swing route. That's Murray. Gets out of the arm tackle and picks up 9 yards. And it'll be second and short with just under 7 minutes left to go in regulation. So plenty of time for Houston to make something happen.
Oh, loads of time to kind of work with here. For Mexico City, that's the equivalent of 1 drive. But for Houston, what we've seen so far, that could be 3 or 4 drives. So Houston doing a good job getting 9 yards on that first play.
Second and short. And jumps offside for Mexico City. Free play as Murray spins out of one, runs out of another tackle, and is taken down at the 45. It's a good play from the tailback. They'll take the yards, even with the penalty.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to take this penalty. Warren Murray worked all of the energy that he had to get as many yards as possible. That's a showcase of agility and jukeness from Warren Murray. Just an amazing play.
Now the Aztecs will continue their drive from their own 45, down by 2. Here as we approach the midway point here in this fourth quarter. Maybe the final frame of action this season for Houston. Burr to throw. Pressure coming. Near side caught by Murray. And they'll say he got the grab, but will be out of bounds short of the line of scrimmage by 2 yards.
Yeah, when you're going through for that flat route pass, you have to be really careful as to how late you throw that ball as well. Because if you throw it too late, they're going to hit the sidelines and not turn and run for that first down. And that's exactly what happened here. Now Houston going 5 receivers.
This time we'll see Dave Burr under center with an empty backfield behind him. Slants over the middle. That's hauled in for good gain of about 9 yards to the backup tight end, Derek Pronger.
Now they're saying Josh Fed on the screen there, one of the backup wide receivers out of this on this 5 receiver set. But nonetheless, it's just great patience from Dave Burr. He didn't really try to go for that risky throw. He just looked around, went through his progressions, and he manages to get himself a nice catch out of it.
Correct, Brett. My mistake. Josh Fed, the wide receiver for Houston, on the reception. Now it's third down. They'll hand it off to Murray. He tries to sneak through the coverage and does get his way. It's a first down on a very dicey play, but Murray converts for the Hyenas.
And here's the thing. Houston decided to run right. Mexico City guessed correctly. It was all about the strength of Warren Murray just to push himself to that first down. He knows that the season's on the line for Houston. He's got to push himself to that first down line.
Only his 10th carry of the ball game. Burr to throw. Deep throw near side. Caught by... Oh my goodness, it's caught by Steven Walker. He had to go up and fight for the football, and he's rewarded with the catch, and they're inside the 10-yard line.
And he didn't have much activity in this game. Only 1 reception for 3 yards going into the second half. But this time he grabs himself a fantastic Moss-like catch to get Houston inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line. And that is huge for Houston as we inch closer to 4 minutes left in the fourth.
He fought off Jeffrey Daggs, a man who has made almost every play for these Aztecs. Now it's first and goal. Handoff, fullback. Going nowhere was Justin Williams, as getting in the backfield quickly was Dexter Jackson.
You want to talk about absolutely stuffed. Once Williams got the ball, he was just stuffed like a turkey day. Turkey, as I can say turkey enough times in this sentence. Justin Williams getting no traction on that play. Sets up a second and goal at the 8.
Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers and a tight end off to the left. Burr to throw. Looks into the corner, and it's out of the reach of DR Sim. And to compound matters further, Kyle Finnemore will come off the field with an injury.
Yeah, that's not good for Houston. Finnemore has been the second best receiver out of this Houston wide receiver core. So we're going to have to see a little bit more of possibly Greg Corky and DR Sim to kind of help out Houston's offense.
And even with the injury, they're coming out with 5 wide. 3rd and goal now from the 8. Bird a throw. Over the middle. Caught! Touchdown! Houston! Greg Corky, in relief of Cal Finnemore, makes the grab that might help Houston's playoff chances.
And what a huge first catch of the day for Greg Corky. He gets himself up to the wide receiver 2 spot and gets himself a nice corner route down to the middle of the end zone, gets a great catch, secures the ball as he was getting tackled, and Houston with a huge 6 points to retake the lead once again and could have a 5-point lead pending this extra point.
They lost in a tight ball game to Sioux Falls a week ago. Now they have the advantage here in the 4th quarter and another tight ball game. Sonny J, snap spot kick is up and it's good. They lead by 5 after that. 9-play, 79-yard drive, culminating with a big touchdown grab by Greg Corky.
And now here's the thing for Mexico City. They're going to need to play quick. We've seen them be slow and methodical all throughout the game. Now they're going to have to change pace to get back in this game and possibly score 6 themselves.
Kicks on its way from Sonny J. Turn now from Jacob McCall, and he's turned around and thrown to the turf at the 25-yard line.
All right, Mexico City, 75 yards to work with 3:40 left in the 4th. What are you going to do, Matt Wilson? What are you going to do, Phoenix Jones? What are you going to do, wide receiver core? It's all up to you guys.
They'll start this crucial drive with 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. And if we know anything about Mexico City, they love to take as much time off that clock as possible. This might be the final drive of the ball game. First throw is caught by Bartley. And instead, Mexico City is going to turn up the pace. They're going to go back to the line of scrimmage.
I don't think they want to risk it.
Wilson into the corner, somehow finds Mike Daggs in quadruple coverage.
Yeah, and Mike Daggs, just that's what Hall of Fame tight end hands get you. It doesn't matter if it's double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, sextuple. It doesn't matter how many defenders are around him. If you give him enough placement of the football, he's gonna catch it. What an amazing throw from Wilson, and what an equally amazing catch from Mike Daggs.
Backs in the backfield, they'll hand off to Jones up the middle as he'll cross the midfield stripe, but not much further, and they come back to the line of scrimmage in the same formation. Hand off again for Jones, goes nowhere again, taken down by Alex Perez, and they're going to hurry back up to the line.
They can't go run again here.
They will go run. Jones up the middle, nowhere again. Alex Perez gets to him, and it's 4th down.
And you had to think if the first 2 runs weren't working, you needed to think of going elsewhere. Maybe go with the swing pass to the side for Phoenix Jones and make him work down the sidelines. But this time they went with a 3rd straight run. I don't know if that was a great decision. And now they're going to have to punt the football away with Houston to have the football maybe shed as much clock as possible.
As Amy will punt it away, Mexico City will rely on the defense. Return from Corky ultimately results in minimal yardage as it's now crunch time again. The Hyenas will have the 2-minute warning and will have to burn the Aztecs 3 timeouts to have their victory and complete step 1 of getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, and this is step-up time for Warren Murray. We're going to suspect a lot of runs from Murray and Justin Williams on this drive. So we're going to have to see what his strength relies. Free play.
Free play as another defensive lineman jumps off sides. It'll be another defensive end, I believe, on that far side, and we'll get the car from R62 officially. They will call Jules Simeon with the infraction, and it's a free play, another first down for the another first down for the Hyenas. They won't convert, but it'll be 1st and 5.
Yeah, it's a big 1st and 5 as well. And now Warren Murray only has to worry about 5 yards to cross that first down boundary. Another big thing here is that it stops the clock again. So Houston has to get this play off to just shed 5 seconds to get to the 2-minute warning.
I formation coverage backs off on the outside. And
Another
another
jump.
member jumps offside. Unbelievable discipline from these Aztecs. And Houston gets another first down.
And that's going to be on the opposite side here. You got both defensive ends kind of slipping a little bit. They're very eager to stop Warren Murray and Justin Williams to get any yardages here. But this time it's just, you can't jump. You got to be disciplined in these moments.
Brock Lee gets tagged with the offsides call. And now a brand new set of downs. Again, for the Hyenas. 2:02 left to go on the game clock here in regulation. Offset single back to the near side. There's 2 tight ends also in that direction. Burr to throw. Swing pass for Murray on the near side. Turns upfield, picks up 3, and that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. We'll take a short pause. Mexico City needs to hold up the Houston Hyenas. You're watching the SFL on Twitch, presented by APM Music. We'll be back in a moment. Minute 58 left to go in regulation. Houston with the football. Mexico City trying to stop them and get their ball back. Ball back. Justin Williams up the middle. That's good for a couple. 3rd and short upcoming, and the first of 3 Mexico City timeouts come off the board.
That's a big bully run from Williams there to get the 6 yards necessary just to make it a 3rd and short situation. But now it's crunch time for both teams. Houston needs this first down, and Mexico City needs to stop to possibly get the football back here with a minute and change left.
Biggest play of the ball game for sure. Handoff. Murray near side, stopped up at the line, and he'll be short of the line to gain as the Aztecs hold firm after back-to-back offsides penalties.
That's a huge show of redemption from Mexico City to stop Houston on their tracks after, like you said, 2 offside penalties. And now Houston's going to punt the football away. It'll be dependent on how deep this punt happens for what Mexico City is going to do with what it might be a minute 45 left.
And crucially, the Aztecs will have 1 timeout remaining after the punt. No return on the play for Jacob McCall. And so they are 71 yards from pay dirt in order to maybe clinch a top 3 seed in the playoffs and to knock Houston officially out of playoff contention. It all comes down to this. 1 more drive for the Aztecs. Play action. Wilson to throw. Looks far side. That's caught by Mike Daggs, who runs out of bounds to stop the clock after picking up 8 yards.
That's a big out-of-bounds sideline play from Daggs as well. They bunched the receivers down on the bottom to maybe make it a focus. And once again, we've seen it a few times already in this game with Daggs going on the out route, on a deep out route. It looked to be an 8-yard deep out route. And Daggs gets the catch, a wide open catch, hits the sideline, and goes out of bounds to stop the clock.
One timeout remaining for Mexico City. 2 left on the board for Houston. 4 wideouts. Play action. Wilson to throw. Looks near side. Hauled in by Jason Bartley on a nice grab. He caught it in the breadbasket and they cross midfield.
I honestly thought Josh Rowe was going to get that pass deflection with how close he was to Bartley, but this time Bartley gets the catch and a huge first down, which shifts the field to the opposing territory. And once again, they're going to bunch up to the top of the screen this time.
And they call their final timeout, so this might as well be the formation they'll be in. Wilson to throw, deep bomb over the middle, and it's deflected and incomplete. He was trying to find Jacob McCall, but it falls incomplete. Meanwhile, for the Hyenas, Cal Fenimore is out the rest of this game with an injury. He won't be able to return in case Houston have to go back on the field with their offense.
Well, I know everything about a pulled calf muscle, both in game and in real life. It hurts. So I can understand that he's going to be out for the rest of this game. But Houston's defense, they're going to have to step up here. Second down.
2nd and 10 from the Houston 43. Wilson, play action. Looks over the middle. That's caught by Highwind. Pick up a 6. 3rd down now from the 37.
Need to keep things short, Houston does.
1 minute 15 and counting.
Jump.
Offside on the defensive line. Wilson has a free play. Fires and finds his target. Highwind over the middle. 1st down, and they'll take the yards over the penalty.
Surely they will, since they're going to be that much closer to the end zone. Great catch from Highwind once again to get himself a prime opportunity for Mexico City to get back in this game and possibly retake the lead. So Mexico City is doing a great job on this 2-minute drill to march down the field.
Chris Joseph with the infraction, and the Aztecs are set up in fantastic position. Will Matt Wilson be able to complete, I'm not going to say a comeback, but complete a come-from-behind win? I guess you would call it a comeback. 3 wideouts. 1 man in the backfield. 25 yards to pay dirt. Play action. Wilson over the middle, holds in, outstretched grab by Jason Bartley, and the clock continues to run as they hustle back to the line.
Great job from the secondary to prevent anything deep.
Wilson to throw again. Play action again. This time fires short and somehow grabbed behind the lineman again by Bartley. 3rd and short from the 17. 45 seconds and counting.
Clock keeps ticking.
Linebacker show pressured. Play action again.
Wow!
Wilson steps up. They can't get the ball away. Sacked. 4th and ball game coming up.
This is big. Wilson needs to find someone open deep down the field now. Oh.
Offsides penalty on 4th down. Wilson over the middle will be stopped short, but it's nothing doing. The penalty gives Mexico City another chance.
Yeah, this is going to be a 4th and 2 situation, which essentially negated the sack that they just had because they were at 3rd and 2 earlier. So now Mexico City has one more chance to either get this 1st down or to the end zone. This is huge.
Penalties have been the story late on in this second half. A lot of offsides calls have been called. I believe at least 4 offsides calls in this second half alone. And now Houston, it'll be 4th and 2. Hyena Clan Stadium gets loud. From the 17-yard line. Wilson to throw. Over the middle. They'll convert on 4th down at the 6-yard line. The timeout comes back to bite them.
Clock is ticking.
Now
10 seconds
to go. Wilson will spike it. And he'll have 7 seconds to run maybe just one final play for both teams' seasons. Mexico City to maybe, with a little bit of help, get the 2nd seed in the playoffs. For Houston, this is for their playoff lives.
Yeah, and I think with Houston's play calling, this could either be 1 or 2 plays. So Matt Wilson, you're going to have to find a quick pass out of this one if you want to grab 2 plays out of this.
It's 2nd and season upcoming. Wilson to throw. Quick drop. Near side caught, but short of the sticks. Mike Diggs is short.
It's over.
The time is going to run out. The Houston Hyenas have life and they will win here in week 12. And now they will wait for the rest of the games to finish. Houston would pull off the victory.
And this is going to be huge for Houston as well, because they had one of the lower strength of victories heading into this matchup between the 4 and 7 teams. So this is going to inch them up a little bit closer in the strength of victory. But nonetheless, what an amazing performance from both teams. Houston did so well with their deep passing game and to get themselves in that situation, as opposed to Mexico City's long and methodical time possession dominance. And that's what you need to do against a team like Mexico City. You just need to strike quick and make sure that these slow and methodical drives for Mexico City result in nothing. And Houston did just enough to secure themselves their 5th win. They have life in this playoff chances now, and now it all depends on the rest of the day. If you're a Houston fan, you're going to be watching 3 or 4 games on every TV that you have up to this point.
And the only interception thrown today by Matt Wilson goes back for a crucial touchdown for the Hyenas, that being Marco Swift, who also, well, that was his first pick 6. What a game and what a place to do it.
Yeah, you want to talk about one of the best first games of the week? You talk about week 12, season 17, Houston against Mexico City. This is going to go down in the history books as one of the best games of the season, bar none.
And so not only do the Houston Hyenas have a chance to make the playoffs, they now lead the series between both clubs at 8 wins to 7 losses between Mexico City and Houston. The player of the game is Dave Burr. Now they wait. Where will the Houston Hyenas end up? Find out on more games today. We got 6 more games going today. A couple that will feature here on SFL Twitch, a couple that will feature over on FTF and Next Level. So, from all of us, for Brett Solberg, Justin Reside, Dwayne Schindler, the Commissioner Cameron Irvine, Ivan Tyler Falk, thanks for joining us. So long from Houston. Enjoy week 12. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.